Another question we've gotten quite a bit is, what is P3? How does it affect us? Should we be concerned about it? What exactly does it mean? P3 legislation, you hear it used often. It refers to public-private partnerships, the 3 Ps. Public-private partnership, it's when the public sector works in conjunction with the private sector to develop certain projects. Maybe it's university housing, maybe it's roadways and infrastructure, maybe it is development of resources within our state parks, whatever the case might be. These are things that states have been doing for a number of years. In Kentucky, we've never passed P3 legislation. Arguably, on one hand, that's good. Arguably, on the other hand, that's bad. There is currently the ability for us to move this through the legislature. There need to be some checks and balances on this. I'm a big believer that we should not use P3 legislation as a way for the private sector to be able to tax those of us who are taxpayers. They should not have the ability to have access to our wallets through the government. And yet, there is perfect example, like at the University of Kentucky, for example, right now with student housing, where private companies are working alongside the university to offer something to the community that has an immediate return on investment to those involved. It doesn't come at any cost to taxpayers, and it provides a service that is desired. The biggest concern is as it relates to public infrastructure projects, as it relates to roadways in particular, and bridges. Should they lead to tolling? I'm not a proponent of tolling pieces of key infrastructure. This piece of legislation that's moving its way through the legislature right now, this P3 bill, is one that actually prevents the Brent Spence Bridge in northern Kentucky from being tolled. It prevents any bypasses to that from being tolled. Basically, the bridges and roads that connect Ohio to northern Kentucky are not able to be tolled based on this current legislation. But I do think it's important for us to allow, for example, our state parks to be able to work with resorts and things to take over responsibility of our state park amenities. They're not doing as well as they could be. There are private companies who are in the business of managing these facilities. We need to be able to enter into contracts with them, giving them certainty that as a state will allow them time to amortize their capital investments. These things are important. There's no cause for concern. I'm strongly opposed to the idea of tolling roads where people don't want them tolled, where private companies have the ability to claw back against the taxpayer. That is not something that is a concern for this legislation. It is moving its way forward. We'll see what happens with it, whether it hits my desk, but I wanted to keep you apprised of currently where it stands. Thank you for these questions. Keep them coming.